Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we will discuss about latest update of the Next.js, Next.js 13.4. So it is just a mini crash course. I will just give you a brief overview of the Next.js update and why you should prefer the Next.js and why it is going into the trends. So let's go deep dive into that. Like So, welcome to the mini crash course on the Next.js 13.4. If you are here, chances you are familiar with the React.js and its power as a JavaScript library to build user interfaces. So, alright, guys, we all knew that React we are using for the building a user interfaces and mostly for the single page application. So, however, you may be wondering why should we consider using the Next.js? So, here is a question like why should we use the Next.js? So I think you all are aware that Next.js is a framework of the React. So well, this section will clarify. Next.js is an open source development framework built on React.js. So Next.js is built on the top of React.js. Okay, so Next.js is not something new. Okay, but it's something built on React. It offers several key benefits that give it an edge over React when it comes to building a modern web application. So let's see the benefits of Next.js or React.js. So while React.js is immensely popular and powerful, it doesn't cover some aspect of the web application development. This is where the Next.js step in, extending the capabilities of the React.js to offer comprehensive development experience. So there are some things which React.js does not support, or maybe it make the process complicated. But the Next.js is the solution for that. So we will see. Here are some ways in which Next.js outshines the React.js. So first one is the server side rendering. React.js is a client side library. So whoever coming into this video already aware that React.js is a client side library, meaning it render the user interface in the browser. While it is works perfectly in many scenarios, it could pose challenges for the SEO optimization. Search engines may have trouble indexing dynamically generated pages, potentially to affecting the website's visibility on the search engine result. So React.js is a client-side level, so that is why it make a bit problematic for your website to rank well on the Google. So there is a problem with the search engine optimization, so that it can be fixed by the Next.js. Routing. Now routing is another issue in the React. So like not an issue, but like it make the process complicated. So you would not to employ additional library. So in React, if you wanted to use the routing, then you have to add the additional library like the React router DOM. You have to install that package to handle the page routing. On the other hand, Next.js provide a built-in file-based routing mechanism. So in Next.js, it's become so much easier, which we will going to discuss just below. This means you can simply create a file in a specify pages directory. Sorry, my bad. I will. You have to create in the app directory. So performance optimization. Next.js come with the automatic code splitting, which means it only loads the JavaScript needed for the page being rendered. So let's say if you open any web page, so it only load the JavaScript needed for that page. Okay, so it will not load overall all the JavaScript file, but it only load the JavaScript only for that specific page. So it improve the overall the web application performance. Now the overview of the how Next.js simplifies and optimizes the development process. So with the Next.js, much of the complex configuration associated with the setting up React.js application is already handled for you. Like so, simply it's saying that Next.js uh, handling the complex configuration for you. You don't have to deal with the complex configuration. Next.js will handle everything for you. So it simplify the development process. So Next.js work is to simplify the development process, so you can just to focus on the development. So first one is we already seen that server side rendering, and it make your web pages website crawlable for better SEO performance. There are crawlers which are Google crawlers which will crawl your website for the SEO performance. So if your website is a faster, and this issue is solved by the server side rendering, static site generation. So Next.js will offer a feature like static site generation. So Next.js allow you to pre-render your pages at a build time, serving them as a static HTML files. This is perfect for the pages that can be cached and served to multiple users, as it speed up the delivery and increases the overall performance of your website. So it's pre-render your web page. Okay, so that's the main advantage. Incremental static regeneration. This feature let you update static content without having to rebuild the entire site. You can revalidate and update static pages in the background as traffic comes in, ensuring content is fresh while still providing the benefit of the static generation. So this is something it will fresh, like it will refresh your website, like it will like something related to the cache data. Okay, so API routes with the Next.js you can easily build a full stack application as it support API routes out of the box. You can write the server side code directly into your Next.js application without having to set up an API server. So you don't have to set up an API server. You can directly write like backend logic into the app directory. So you can just have to like you can just create a folder like API folder into the app directory, and then you can put up the logic, backend logic there. Built-in CSS and SAS support. So Next just come with a built-in support for the CSS and SAS, eliminate the need for the. So when you install the Next.js 13.4 version, latest version, it will pre come with the built-in not built-in you can say, but it is now by default support the Talent and CSS. So that's the main advantage for that. Rendering in Next.js. All right, so like it's a second feature. So let's now we have deep dive into that, like what's going on. So rendering in Next.js. So it's a second feature of the Next.js. In this section we are going to explore one of the most vital aspects that differentiate the Next.js from the React.js. So how like Next.js and React.js is different. So it's a rendering process. So we will dwell into the concept of the client side rendering and the server side rendering, how they affect SEO and why SEO is so critical for the success of your website. So that we will going to discuss. So distinction between the React and Next.js in term of rendering. So rendering is the process of transforming your application's code into a format that's viewable on a web browser. So, and the way that React.js and Next.js handle this rendering process is a crucial distinction between the two. So, Next.js and React.js both handle this process differently. In a standard React.js application, the rendering of the user interface happen on the client side. So, that is in the user's browser. This means that when a user requests a web page, the server sends the essential HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code to the browser, which then render it to the display the website. On the other hand, Next.js primary performs the server-side rendering. This means that the web page is rendered on the server first before the being sent to the client device. However, Next.js offers flexibility in rendering. You can choose to render on the client side like a React or on the server side. So, so simply like when a user requests any web pages, so thing happen is that like it requests a web page, and uh, uh, what you can say, like the server send the essential HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code to the browser. So like it will on all happen on the browser, but like on the next it will all happen on the server side. So these are the main difference. Explanation of the client side rendering and the. So that's what I'm like trying to explain you, but now we will explain it here. Like client side rendering, or you can say the browser rendering, is a process where the browser download the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code from the server, then render it and final display it on the website. The process is a great for dynamic web application because it can handle the frequent update and interaction efficiently. However, it can be slow for the initial page load and may cause SEO issues. So on the client side, rendering, what happen is that if you uh, the process is great for dynamic web application, but it make your web application bit slower on the initial page load. But there is a difference between the server side rendering. Server side rendering involves the rendering of the web page on the server before the delivering it to the client device. When a user requests a page, the server render the component on the server side, then send the fully rendered HTML to the client, enabling immediate display. So this advantage is that it will render first on the server side, and then it will send to the client, so it immediately display your website, your web page. This process allow your website to visible to the user quickly, so this make the process faster. So this is what the advantage of the server side rendering. Comparison of the client and server side rendering in term of SEO. So the web pages are rendered can significantly impact a website search engine optimization. So client-side rendering might pose challenges for the SEO because search engine crawlers can face difficulty indexing pages dynamically rendered on the client side. As a result, the SEO performance of such pages may suffer. So that there are Google crawlers, or you can say the spiders, Google spiders, so which crawl your website. But so it is saying that if your website is on the client side rendering, then it is difficult for them to crawl your website. So and so that your website will be less visible into the Google, and that is why your website, or you can say web application, is not optimized for the SEO. So that is why if you do server side rendering, it resolves this issue by sending the pre-rendered code directly to the client. And this approach enables easy crawling and indexing by search engine bots, leading to the improved SEO. Now the advantages of the server side rendering for SEO. So improve SEO performance, faster initial page loading, better user engagement. So faster the load time and smoother the user experience can lead to the better user engagement. Obviously, that's fair, which directly benefit SEO. Explanation why SEO is crucial for the website visibility and ranking in search engine result. So SEO is definitely obviously you can say is essential. SEO is crucial for optimizing a website's visibility and ranking in search engine result. A higher ranking on search engine result increase the organic traffic. So if your website is visible into the Google, then obviously it will send the lot of traffic, like lot of public who will visit your website, and it will lead to the more customer and more conversion. So and it also increases your website's credibility and trustworthiness of your website, and it will give you the right competitive edge in the online marketplace. So that's definitely correct. Impact of the prioritizing SEO on the success of website and online presence. So if you prioritize the SEO, then it will increase organic traffic. Your website or web application receive lots of traffic. That's the advantage. It will enhance the user experience. So if your web page or a website load faster, so it enhance the user experience, credibility and trustworthiness. User trust search engines, therefore achieving a top spot in the search engine ranking signal to user. So if your website on the number one, so if user search something and if your website pop up and ranking number one, then people will think that this website is best. That is why it is showing on the on the number one ranking on the Google. So it will increase your credibility and the competitive advantage. If two websites are selling the same product, the search engine optimized website is more likely to gain the more customer. So if you're someone is selling the same product as your, then you have the advantage if you have the correct SEO. Oh man, this is I will say this is too much. Like now the routing in Next.js. So let us say we will go a quick bit faster. So routing in Next.js. So in any web application, routing is a crucial aspect. They help in navigating through the different pages of web application. So for example, if you any visit any website and then you got the about page, contact page. So there are like you have to, if you are using the React for your web application or website, then you have to uh, you have to add the additional packages like the React router DOM to manage the different page route. So and then you have to import like browser router, and then you have to wrap up inside the router. So that is how you give the path for the routing. But in the Next.js, what happen, it follow the file based routing system. So you have to simply in the app go to the app directory, then you have to create the folder. And let's say like you create the about folder for your about section, then you have to create the about.js file. And it will simply you can go to the about. So your website name, and you can simply go to the forward slash about, then it will open up your about page. So it become very like very simple. It is called the file based routing system. So that's the main advantage. Like this one is I like the best advantage. Full stack application in Next.js. So that we will see. Expanding the application to the full stack model often require a developer to manage and synchronize between the different languages, framework, and even environment. However, with the advent of the Next.js version 9, developing a full stack application has become a smoother and less fragmented experience. Let's explore how a significant breakthrough was introduced in the Next.js version 9 with the feature of API routes, which revolutionized the development of a full stack application. This new feature allowed developer to create a serverless function to handle API requests without needing to maintain a separate backend server. So you simply you don't have to create any separate backend server. Next, just allow a serverless function. So introduction to the API routes in the Next.js version. Like after the Next.js version, why they have introduced that serverless API in Next.js are a way of creating API endpoints without the need for traditional server infrastructure. The term serverless might be misleading as it does imply an absence of a server. In reality, it refers to the abstraction of a server, or the idea that developer can build the deploy API without worrying about the server management. So you don't have to worry about the server management. So let's see like overview of the serverless function to the handle API request. So simply you have to inside the app directory you have to create an API folder, and directory is mapped to the API and will be treated as API endpoint. So this API folder or API directory will treat as a API endpoint, and this file could contain a function to handle the various HTTP methods such as get, post, put, delete, and more. You can use this function to interact with the database, handle a form submission, manage a authentication, and perform a host of the other server-side tasks. The API routes feature is a significant side stride toward a seamless full stack development, with the Next.js serving as an encompassing platform to manage both front end and back end functionalities efficiently. It saves you the stress of dealing with the server infrastructure and lets you focus on the crafting the logic of your application. So simply advantage is that you have to don't have to deal with the server management on all that. You have to go serverless, and it will handle the API request just into the app directory's API directory. Now the automatic code splitting in Next.js. So as a developer, for the efficiency, so our main work as a developer is to increase the performance of an application and make the process faster. So there is a technique called the code splitting. So what is the splitting? We will understand that first. So code splitting is a feature supported by modern bundler like a webpack and browserify, which allow you to split your JavaScript code into the multiple chunks. It breaks down the large bundler of JavaScript code into a smaller, more manageable chunks that can be loaded as an page needed. This technique is simply reduces the initial load time of a website, optimizing a user experience and ensure the smooth and swift browsing. So simply it means to say that it breaks the JavaScript code into smaller chunks, and that is why it reduces the load time of the website and it improve the user experience. But how does it work in the React and Next.js? So like that's we are here, that is why we are here. Like, why, what is the difference with the React and Next.js? So if you are using a React, then code splitting is a manual. So it is a manual process in the React, and as your application grows, you might need to add more configuration and use a lazy function. So you have to use the function like this and the suspense component to load the module only when required. So but on the Next.js, this process is totally automatic. You don't have to do anything, nothing you have to do. You have to just work on your logical part. This process is automatic, you don't have to worry about that. This will be done by the automatic Next.js. That's it. So that's simply is that. So guys, that's it. Like I think I can't continue right now, so I think let we will wrap up this course. This is I have made this mini crash course, which you can say it's the Next.js mini ebook for the anyone who is beginner into the Next.js and who wanted to see like why they should use the Next.js and why they should jump into the Next.js, or what is the latest update in the Next.js latest version 13.4. So it stabilized the app directory. Okay, so that is the main update, and there are lots of feature which like I have here, like working with the server and client component, how you can work with the server and client component, advanced routing, what is advanced routing, data fetching in Next.js, building a full stack application. So these are the features, these are the you have to wanted to know about that. So guys, this crash course is simply, you can say, this ebook, Notion ebook, is available on the Gumroad, which I will mention the link into the description, and it is available for the free for a limited time, for a week, or you can say this is available for the next 100 people. So my this ebook on the Gumroad for the Next.js crash course is available for free for the next 100 customer. So if you are watching this video, go to the Gumroad and claim it for the free, and you will get this Notion database. Okay, and I will in future I will update this database, and I will put more information about working with the Next.js. So if you wanted to work with the Next.js, or if you are learning the Next.js, if you are a beginner, then you can check out my product from the Gumroad. So that's it guys, and if you wanted to support me in any ways, there is a two link given into the description. One is UPI link and one is a PayPal link. You can support me by that. So that's it, and like, share and subscribe my channel, and click on the bell icon to get the latest update quickly. So that's it, I will see you into the next video. Until that, bye bye, take care and keep coding.